Have you ever just stopped and really looked at the things you use every day? Like a simple sheet of paper? It seems so ordinary, right? But behind it, there's this incredible story of nature, science, and a whole lot of creativity. So let's unfold that story together. And this is pretty much where it all begins. It's just a quiet, everyday moment. We've got a young girl, her name's Pihu. She's drawing while her mom reads the newspaper. It's a scene you've probably seen a million times, but it's about to spark a question that's going to change how Pihu sees the world, and maybe how you do too.
So here's the plan for our little journey today. We're going to follow Pihu's quest for answers. We'll dive into the secret life of paper, get real about its true cost, learn how to make our own, which is super cool, and then we'll master this powerful idea called the 5 R's. And finally, we'll think about where we fit into this whole story.
So yeah, it all kicks off right here. While Pihu's drawing, she glances over at her mom's newspaper, and she sees this picture of a forest being cut down, right next to an article about recycling. And in her head, these two things just click. And that leads to a really simple but really powerful question. This is it. This is the question that gets the ball rolling. How are trees saved? And it's such a brilliant question because to even start to answer it, you have to figure out that basic connection. Where does paper even come from in the first place? So Pihu's mom explains that making a piece of paper involves way more than you'd think. It's not just about what you're holding in your hand. It's about everything that had to go into it. And it really boils down to 3 big things. First up, the most obvious one, trees. That's where it all starts. Those long, strong wood fibers get turned into something called pulp. And that pulp is basically the main building block for almost all the paper we use. Second, and this one's a biggie, you need a massive amount of water. Water is used for everything. Turning wood chips into pulp, washing it, moving it through all the machines. The whole process just guzzles water from start to finish. And third, it takes a ton of energy. You've got to power all that heavy machinery in the paper mills, the processors, the dryers. So when you look at a single sheet of paper, what you're really seeing is a mix of trees, water, and energy. And once you start looking, you realize just how much paper is literally woven into our daily lives. Think about it. Drawing books, newspapers, paper napkins, cardboard boxes that all our stuff arrives in, even tissue paper. Every single one of those things carries that hidden cost of trees, water, and energy. Okay, so hearing about that high cost can feel a little heavy. But here's the cool part. Pihu doesn't get bummed out. Nope, she gets inspired. She realizes that recycling isn't just some chore. It's actually a way to give old paper a brand new life. And that curiosity leads her to the next brilliant question. She asks her mom if they can try to make their own recycled paper. And this is the moment where just knowing something turns into actually doing something. Her mom's response, it's perfect. Why not? Let's try. And guess what? You can do this too. It's actually way easier than it sounds. So first, you make the pulp. Just tear up old newspaper, soak it in water overnight. Oh, and the source recommends adding a few fenugreek seeds. They act like a natural glue. Next, you just mash it all up into a wet paste. Then you spread that paste out real thin on a flat surface and you just let it dry. That's it. You've literally turned old news into a fresh sheet of paper. Now, making your own recycled paper is an awesome way to see how it works, but it's just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. It's part of a super powerful strategy for cutting down waste everywhere in our lives, and it's called the 5 R's. The first R, and you could argue it's the most important one, is to refuse. This is all about prevention. It's just saying no thanks to things you don't really need, like that single-use paper cup or a plastic straw. You stop waste before it even gets a chance to exist. The second R is reduce. This is about being smart and efficient with the stuff we do use. A perfect example? Printing on both sides of a sheet of paper. Boom. You've just cut your paper use in half. It's that simple. Third up, we have reuse. This just means using something again and again for its original job. Instead of tossing that gift bag, why not save it for the next person's birthday? It's all about making things last longer. The fourth R is repurpose. Okay, now this is where things get really fun and creative. Repurposing is taking something that's done its job and giving it a completely new one. And this is the magic of repurposing right here. Just look at this. These amazing little sculptures, a bird, a butterfly, they're made from nothing but old newspapers.
This isn't just getting rid of trash. This is art. It's turning something you'd throw away into something beautiful. And that brings us to our fifth and final R, recycle. This is the process of breaking down an old item to create the raw material for something new, exactly like we saw with turning old newspapers back into fresh, handmade paper. It's what you do when you can no longer refuse, reduce, reuse, or repurpose. Okay, time for a quick pop quiz. Let's see if you've got this down. A boy named Kabir paints an old bottle to use as a flower vase. Which of the 5 R's is he practicing here? Go on, take a second. If you said repurpose, you are absolutely right. The bottle's first purpose was to hold a drink, but Kabir gave it a new, totally different purpose, to hold flowers. That's repurposing in a nutshell. Nicely done. So think about it. We started with Pugh's simple question, and from there we've journeyed through the whole life of paper and ended up with this powerful toolkit for making better choices. The story of paper isn't really about trees and factories. It's about us and the little decisions we make every day. Every time you decide whether to take that paper bag, or use both sides of a page, or turn an old box into something cool, you're writing your own little chapter in this much bigger story. So the final question really is for you. Your story is being written right now, with every choice you make. How are you going to choose to write it?